So let's talk a minute about data sharing. Within an individual company, data sharing is the story of master data. Master data is data that is widely shared. Customer data that needs to be shared between marketing and finance. If we start to look at this at a little bigger picture, if we go beyond our four walls and we start talking about sharing data from company A to company B, some pretty exciting things start to form, where you could imagine a world if MDM is designed to deliver economies of scale within an individual company, sharing data within functions or departments or groups within an individual company. Well, it should be able to do the same thing across companies or across supply chains or any complex data ecosystem where company A may be sharing data with company B. A great way to think about this would be to think about any kind of reference data or other widely shared data that is already arguably commoditized. A great place to look would be maybe information about companies. If I can Google information about Verizon and their headquarters and all of their corporate subsidiaries and operating groups and get those addresses, and if they're already out there on the internet, why isn't that data being widely shared across ecosystems? So that's just one use case of data sharing. So I do see a future where there are more of these data sharing ecosystems where companies are sharing information related to maybe their customers or maybe their suppliers, right? This is what's already kind of largely starting to happen within some of the complex value chains, like within logistics and shipping and other industries where data is already being shared. I think we can expect to see a lot more than that. That's kind of the full vision of sharing, where companies are sharing across value chains or ecosystems. But there are simpler forms of it as well. You could argue that posting data on maybe a marketplace for sale, maybe I'm monetizing some of my data. You could even argue that that is a form of sharing, and I think it is. But I think the most transformative form of sharing here will be where companies are actually managing data as a shared asset and are creating these data management ecosystems where if one record is updated in one database, then it's automatically updated in 1,000 database, where we get away from this world where data is being governed, stewarded, managed the same way across company A, B, C, D, E, F. When we look at things like company records, the governance processes here are all largely consistent, I would argue. And can we start managing some of this data in more of a shared way? I think we can. And bonus, when we do that, we actually lower our carbon footprint because no longer are we duplicating data that doesn't need to be duplicated over and over and over and over and over again. So this is another aspect of data sharing that I think is a nice knock-on effect. It's not the primary beneficiary. The primary business driver here will be to drop our operational costs related to data management. But there's a secondary benefit here, is that we don't have to keep replicating data over and over and over and over again, data that is arguably not a competitive advantage for you.